I'm Janette Beckman. Photographed a lot of music, punk, hip-hop.
My name is Itzel Alejandra Martinez. I started photographing actually Latina musicians in Austin. And I felt like, to me this was like the rebellion. Like this was something that people weren't seeing, but like it was so much part of my life.
Hi, my name's Nick Waplington. I'm an artist working in various different mediums. I've been making pictures now for kind of 40 years. Since I was a teenager, I became kind of involved in the whole rave culture thing that was basically precipitated by people who were involved with punk 10 years later.
I am Mark Beasley, the curatorial director here at Pace Gallery. Today we open the exhibit Studio to Stage, music photography from the 50s to the present. And we're here with three of our photographers and artists from the exhibition. That moment perhaps when you first aligned or picked up a camera and were around musicians, what was your first kind of music work?
I kind of just moved here in '83 accidentally. I came to visit a friend and I never left because I was became obsessed with hip hop. And I started working for a bunch of little tiny labels, and they had all these unknown bands, Salt and Pepper. Nobody had ever heard of them. They didn't even have a record when I met them. And we just had done some photos on Avenue C in the East Village, and they're like, oh, you're cool. Can you be our record label photographer? I was like, okay.
I came to New York and worked for a Latina publication, and that's where I shot for Afropunk. They were just like, we'll give you press passes, but you could only photograph like what's around. So the photos that you see were very much involved with the audience and in the crowd and in the mosh pit, because that's what I had access to, and also because like that's where the energy is. And I think that's the beauty of music. It doesn't live in a vacuum. You need the managers, you need the security guards, the audience, the people in the service industry to all just kind of make that moment happen, and live music is all of that, so it's special.
I got to New York in the early 1990s. I quickly worked out that the Sound Factory was the place. I mean, it was like a club like no other.
Does that subject, that awareness of you being there, how do you navigate that?
I think people are very reactive to photos, and so the telephoto lens right now is like kind of my best friend, because you get to and capture the emotion without somebody actually seeing you.
I realized the time to take photographs was when the strobe lights were on, because people couldn't tell that I was using the flash when the strobe was going. I was using the camera with magnifying glasses taped onto the front of it sometimes. I really wanted to get inside people's heads.
I mean, for me, any photo I take is a collaboration with a band. That Run DMC and Posse and Hollis Queen's 1984 photo, it really is a captured moment in time. I didn't know these people, I just met them, I just walked down the street, that's the street they live on, which I found out later. And they're hanging with a bunch of friends, and some of those friends are now no longer with us. It's also about the Gazelles, the Adidas, the Kangols, everything. It's just a moment in time.
As I get older and I kind of process through my life, I use the things in my archive to try and build a narrative and I'm trying to kind of explain to myself where I am and what I'm doing, where I've been, where I'm going, and how that relates to general cultural shifts within society.
I do think that great photos will stand the test of time. Yeah. And we will reflect on history, music history, journalistic history based on those photos.